she is the mighty Thor, and she came. There's a really great animatic that our brand team put together that shows how she got to where she is. I don't want to give any spoilers for anybody who hasn't seen it, but yeah, it's a really interesting way for her to kind of join this universe, and it's going to be really fun to kind of explore what her coming here, the ramifications of that long term.
Yeah, and I love the interactions between her and Thor. And let me tell you, you guys have been spot on. One thing that I can mark for MCU that they do really well for, in my eyes, is casting. You guys did a fantastic job casting the voice actors and actresses for the role. And I read an interview with CBR recently for the voice actress for Jane Foster. It was hilarious. She didn't even know she was auditioning for it, and then when she got it, she was
Yeah.
really happy. She did a really good job.
Yeah,
Um,
Zareth Fazal, she crushes it, and she
yeah,
is an absolute gem of a human being too.
she is, and she has that tone down. Like
Yeah.
it's not like I'm overarching goddess. It's like it's got that flair of Thor. Got the flair when she's angry, you can hear it, and then she has a really good joking. Her inflections and her voice are just fantastic, and it's just
Hmm.
goes without. Now, without to do, let's get into a mission and show the difference between Thor. Both of these characters are super powerful, as people say OP, but I feel like every character is OP once you know how to kit them. Uh, they're heroes. So he's gonna pick the
Sure.
first mission. I'm gonna jump in.
Yeah, I'll take us into
All
one
right.
of our event missions that's going on right now. Corrupted Vibranium event is going on, and
Oh yeah.
it adds a little bit of, it ties into the Black Panther War for Wakanda story,
Yeah.
as corrupted vibranium nodes are popping up around the world, um, and Avengers have to go and kind of deal with them and investigate them. Um,
You
and you
know,
get some interesting rewards for them.
funny enough, you guys have been doing tweaking behind the scenes, and I mean, I know it's really hard to say all the stuff that you're doing, but I noticed the AI is way smarter now. They attack the crystals well now, because that was a little issue I had in Black Panther. I was like, oh my god, I can't get it. They like keep blocking up, and the people are all fighting things. They actually like followed up really, really well, and the AI is better. So
Yeah,
thank you for that. That was really
we're
nice.
we're always looking at things and finding ways to make things flow better and feel better. So
Yeah.
that's
Oh
that's
God.
one of the benefits of a live service game, right? Is it's not a you have to get everything right, and you can always keep improving, keep reviewing, and even things that like you think are you design and you feel really good about, and then once it get out there and the players have their experiences with it, you can say, hey, maybe this is worth taking another look at.
Wow. Yeah. I really like it. I just wanted to show people how like how she comes out of the ship. Your girl says the hammer is just delicious, and I want to get the 175 to deal with great damage. I like how I said delicious. It does look like a gold chocolate hammer right now, a golden chocolate hammer. Oh man. See how she throws her hammer. She has a little bit, so I'm guessing she has a little bit more control over it than what Odin's son has. So she's able to throw her hammer more, and the hammers actually go sentient during her ultimate.
Ultimate, yeah.
Just
Yep,
really cool.
that was one of the things that we really wanted to showcase with her is um she is a much more nimble and agile um combatant, I guess you could say, versus I guess I've run into this in tons of interviews.
I
She
just threw it.
we'll call him Odinson for the sake of not saying this Thor and that Thor.
Yeah.
But yeah, he is much more of a power brawler, right? Like he overwhelming force, and while she is definitely strong and capable, we made sure to highlight the fact that she is much more nimble and agile, and has much more, and has a, I don't want to say a better, but a different sense of control with Mjolnir in terms of using it at ranged.
Yes.
And so we highlighted those things. We did everything we could to highlight those so that they definitely feel better. So yeah, she has a range combo attack that makes it feel much more controlled. Her ultimate focuses on sending Mjolnir out, and while also calling on Underyarn. And in your outfit, she actually uses Underyarn because that's her Valkyrie outfit, which that's the hammer that she used in that run. So we had a little fun with that, but yeah, leveraging both hammers, her ability to kind of to switch between the two, and um, and just kind of zip around and beat up bad guys.
Oh, I was holding my breath the whole time we were fighting while you're talking. I get so into it, get so passionate, I forget that I'm actually hosting the show.
Yeah, like one of the big differences with her around kind of mobility is we have an ability that we give to some heroes called a vault, and that's by like if you go up to an enemy and you press and hold B. Sometimes, like for Iron Man, he'll literally vault over him. And Thor does not have one of them because that's something that we kind of attribute to faster, more agile heroes. And so, because of that, us trying to get that that sense of agility with her, she has a vault, which isn't necessarily a vault per se. She kind of grabs them, like showing that she is, super. She's mighty. But she grabs them and just kind of throws them past her, which I think is a really fun animation.
Okay, this is protected.
Yep. The other ones are too, I think. Oh no, now these both went active.
Yep. Yeah, I love her finishers. I was like, I'm just gonna buy a couple of finishers. You guys really went ham on these finishers, and let me tell you, the wallet is just like, please.
We did a good batch of new ones for her, and we also found ones that that were previously like Thor Odinson finishers that we thought made sense for her, right? Like that kind of that shared, what we call a shared comic DNA. So yeah, she definitely has a good amount of options there.
Okay, I'm good. Yeah, I love it. I love the baseball bat feeling one when she throws them up and she knocks them. That's my favorite so far. But yeah, one thing I would say you guys have really landed that a lot of games are starting to miss nowadays is impact. The feel of impact. So the feel of power when you hit somebody, slam them. It's not all about just the screen shaking, and I think a lot of games are starting to lean into that a little too much. Screen shaking actually, can
make you a little
woozy. Make you a little woozy, and what goes behind making a game combat feel fluid with impact, and how important do you feel it is to game development?
I mean, it's super. So for our game, it's super
Avengers!
important, obviously, because you're not, you're not an average Joe. You are a superhero. These are some of, they are Earth's mightiest heroes. And so like we want you to feel as strong as you should when playing them. And so that's a lot of what goes into our iteration and play testing. It's something that I focus on with the team, which is superhero power fantasy, right?
Yes.
Because this isn't, this isn't another fighting game. This isn't another brawler. Like, you're playing as the Avengers, and people come in and they have, because this isn't like some other IP, or an original IP or something like that. People come in with very specific expectations about how they want to feel when playing as a superhero. So a lot of it is feedback and iteration, and we just spend a lot of time play testing it and making sure that it feels right. But a lot of props to our animation team. They're really good. They're really great, and they spend a lot of time, tweaking animations to make sure that the impact feels right, and that it's timed right, and it's smooth, and it feels the way that it should. Those guys are great.
They're fantastic. Kudos to the team. We have a question in chat, and I think this is a pretty good question to answer. It says, honest question here. This is by Marcus Libero. If I said your name wrong, please feel free to correct. Do you guys think about releasing a hero that no one is expecting? We talk about War Machine and who's WS, and that can be so many people.
Winter Soldier,
okay. But how about a hero that no one even mentioned? That would be a huge surprise and for a great diversity of heroes.
Yeah, Adam made a really good point in chat there, which is it's nearly impossible to surprise the internet. So we do our best to try to keep things under wraps so that we can surprise you, and we announce things when when we feel like we're confident and ready to announce them. But yeah, especially with this being might be the most popular IP in the world at this point.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's a lot of eyes on it, and you know, everybody has their favorite characters, their favorite heroes that they want to see in. So, yeah, it's difficult. It's not impossible, but it's difficult to surprise people on the internet with, you know, who might be next.
And I'm pretty sure you probably have the answer to a lot of people as well, because it's not just a one decision thing. You know, Brian doesn't just sit there and be like, I would like to see this hero, right? Is that like meetings that you guys have, or you know, you collaborative come
Yeah,
together with Marvel?
it's a collaborative process.
Yeah.
Like for me, I will, you know, I'm always, a lot of my time is focused on, you know, what's 6 months plus out. And so like we'll talk about, you know, things that we want to see, and definitely we're 100% paying attention to what our players are asking for, and seeing what we can do with that. But a lot of times it comes down to, um, do we have a really good hook? Like, do we have a good design hook that we feel will make whatever hero feel really fun? You know what I mean? Like, we don't want to put a hero in just to check a box, right? Or because it's a, you know, a name. Like, you know, we have a list. I shouldn't say that because now everyone's going to think there's some like secret list. But I mean, like, you know, there's a list of heroes that are out there that obviously are super important in the Marvel kind of lexicon, right? Like whether they're highlighted in the MCU or not, whether they're highlighted in the comics or not. And also like who are ones that are super popular with players, and then as we take a look at those, who are ones that we think fit into our universe really well, and we have a good narrative reason for bringing them in, and that narrative reason may not be super apparent right now, like for some of them, like with Jane. Like, yes, she we know how she came here, but what's the impact of that going to be long term? I kind of mentioned that before, and so it helps us set up things, you know, for longer term and with other pieces of potential content. But a lot of it is like, do we have a good hook?
Right.
And like, what's the rotation? What's their mechanic? How can we make them feel, you know, unique and powerful and fun? So yeah, a lot goes into it. It's a very it's a selective process.
Yeah, you definitely want them to fit the narrative as well, like, you know, the direction of the game is going, because I mean, everybody and their mom has been asking for instance, Wolverine since day one. Like, I just want to see Wolverine in the game, you know, this, that, and the other, and or Storm, and you know, maybe right now is not the time, but it'd be nice to see those characters in. So I appreciate the thought process behind it. It's not like you guys are just trying to make a quick buck by pleasing people, and I think that's an important thing to remember. You know, you want to please your fans, but at the same time, you want to make sure you do them right by being, you know, honest and transparent, as you guys are. Speaking of which,
real quick on that, like,
yes.
there's another thing that's super important to remember in terms of like heroes that we select or that we're looking at. Like, our game is Marvel's Avengers, right? Like, and we are, when we take a look at like the heroes or the characters that we have, like, obviously if you go by the comics, I think everybody's been an Avenger at some point.
Pretty much. So many
and
Avengers.
so it's pretty easy to make like a case for like, hey, Wolverine or Storm or whatever. But you know, we are focused on iconic Avenger characters that, you know, that Avengers has been their primary team. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's where they live, because we're an Avengers game. We're not an X-Men game. We're not a
Right.
Fantastic Four game. We're an Avengers game. So that's not to say that we couldn't at some point, but you know, it's setting expectations is good.
And you also have like so many different Avengers teams, like Young Avengers, Avengers San Francisco.
Yeah.
Like, it's just so many.
So many. There's years and years and years of things to pull from too.
Which is great, because
and there's always new fans that are coming in.
Yep.
As well, like, there's tons of comic history. You have a lot of new people who are coming in and learning about Marvel characters through, you know, the movies or through the Disney Plus shows. Or there's just like the amount of I saw like a graph of like hours of Marvel content on TV or movies over the past, like, I don't know, 10, 15 years. And it was like this flat kind of thing. And then last year it like octupled because of the addition of things on Disney Plus, you know?
Yeah, I'm so thankful, you know, actors, friends of mine, even complain about comics being so popular now because it feels like that's the only job they can get. You know, but I'm so happy for it because this is a world that I lived in since the 80s, you know, and I was explaining last time that growing up was hard being a comic book lover because everyone wanted you to play football or be the popular kid and jock, but now the cool kids read comics.
See, I was never the cool kid, so I never had to worry about that.
No, you were always the cool kid.
I grew up watching Star Wars and Star Trek and Babylon 5 and Sequest, and I always did nerdy stuff, and
that's the cool stuff now, though.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah, it's so funny, like on Facebook and seeing people I went to high school with who are now suddenly Star Trek fans that used to make fun of me in school about that. I'm like, oh, that's interesting. But yeah, the pop culture has definitely changed.
Yes. But the popularity of comics, it was hard to introduce people to comics because they just felt like, you know, there was a lot of gatekeeping. You know, it's like once you get in that world, you're always gonna have that person tell you, no, it's not like that. And, you know, and variations and variants to them don't exist at the end of the day. But the MCU breaking a bridge between everyone that wanted to get in comics or not, it's just a beautiful thing right now because, to be honest, I never thought I'd see a game like this being made still in 3 years, you know, going on 3 years. So I'm very happy about it. So
yeah, it's interesting. Like I wasn't even a big comics reader when I was a kid. Like the most exposure I had to Marvel comics was whenever I would go to the barbershop and get my hair cut. They were right next door to like a little newsstand, and so they always grabbed like Spider-Man comics, and so I would go through and I would kind of read those while I waited to get my hair cut. But I like, for me it was always a little, it was hard. It was hard to get into because I didn't know where to start, you know. And like there's so many heroes, and even by that time, like with me growing up, I was born in 81, so like in the 90s, like there had already been like 20-30 years worth of history, and I didn't know where to start. Like I didn't know where to go in, and I'm a weird completionist where like if I want to get into something, like I want to get into it, and I feel like for me it was like I don't even know where to do this, how do I get back issues, all that sort of stuff. So it wasn't really until the MCU came along that I really got into it more, and it gave me a stepping stone in, and I knew kind of, oh, this is how to start with this, and this is how to. Plus, at that point, the internet was a much bigger thing than when I was a kid too, so that helped.
Yeah, definitely. It's. I started with Spider-Man, and that's who I related to the most because he was a kid that had to put on a facade sometimes and just never got along or never fit in until, you know, he got powers. And that was, I mean, I never got the power thing, but it was there.
You just got different powers, man. You got different superhero powers.
That's right. Oh, you guys are not getting in-game audio? Okay, let me, after this mission, I'll try to fix that for you guys. I think I can do something.
Oh yeah, you're probably hearing mine vibrate.
Okay.
My Xbox Elite likes
what if I hold on? Let me try this. I don't know if it might. You can. I know how I can feed it through, but I don't want it to go through Discord for you guys. You guys can. I'll figure it out for you guys. Audio is always fun. Let me tell you. If you hear a weird noise, let me know. Oh boy, I'm a little afraid to wait. Is this working? No. Okay. I'm gonna have to feed it through the system. And Brian, if it overrides for you and it gets a little crazy, let me know. All right,
still sounds fine to me.
We're gonna try some new stuff, guys. Here we go. All right. You guys hear audio now? Good for confirmation. It works. Okay. Brian, is it overbearing for you?
I hear it all.
Yay!
Now you can hear all the bonks.
Yeah, he just bounced off the building. This is what I'm talking about. So I'm the nerd who loves to pay attention to like the little things that game designers put in games, and the fact that I throw my hammer and the guy bounces off the wall, that's huge to me. It's very, very huge to me. And pin him. Oh my god! I remember when I played Thor during the beta, and I pinned that guy against that truck. I was losing it. People were like, "Can you just play the game?" I'm like, "You don't understand. He's pinned, and I can punch him." I was like going ham about it. Oh, I just love it.
There's a lot of cool little things that we do, and because we know that like it's not just about the big sweeps, right? Like it's the little things that matter, and seeing how that works. So yeah, it's I and this was even before I was even at Crystal. Like I love that they made it so that if you're Iron Man and you fire your unibeam at Captain America and he blocks, he can reflect the unibeam in different directions. Just
so awesome.
Yeah.
I was like, classic. Oh man, I remember the feeling I got when I first saw the game and played the story mode, and oh my god, when the Hulk slam was that was back when it was actually still popular meme, going around.
Yeah.
I lost it, and the fact you could yeet people with him. Oh, just the little things. I love it.
More games need yeets.
Yes, absolutely. I scream it every time it happens. I'm like, yeet! Like every time.
Yeah, someone's asking what hammer is that, and the one that he's using right now, that's Underyarn, which is a hammer that she used in her comic run as Valkyrie.
Yes. And you actually see her call it down when she throws. Okay, is it Mjolnir or Mjolnir?
Mjolnir.
Mjolnir. Okay.
The soft J.
Funny enough, I did voice acting for a game I can't say that's based around the mythology, and I was Thor in that game, and like I had to say Yomagunder. And
it's rough, man.
I was like, "Can you send me the pronunciations, please? I don't want to record this for the 100th time."
I think it took me about 2 weeks of spelling Underyarn before I got it.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, dude! I had to say the horn, the different gods. I was like, I can say hell. It's easy.
We all know how well
but it was fun. It's a fun project. I can't wait till it drops.
Yeah.
So you're currently watching Jane Foster, the Mighty Thor. As you know, just in time for we forgot to mention. I mean, is it like a little coinky dink that this is coming out around the same time as Love and Thunder?
A happy accident. I mean, it's one of those things that, like, and I'm, people assume that we did it that way, and it helps. Like there's a lot of people have some pretty visceral feelings after they come out of watching a movie, and they're like, hey, I see this movie with this character, and we rely on that a lot because people will go see an Avengers movie and they'll be like, I want to play as that Avenger, and they come and play our game. And so it happened to work out that way. I'm not making things up. It was a happy accident that way. But yeah, I mean, we're really excited. Hopefully, people go and see Love and Thunder, and I can't wait to see it because I know we know nothing about it. We didn't have any secrets for it. We just want to give a good experience with her and let people have a cool introduction of this Marvel character in our game.
Well, I'm happy she's here. I love it. I think, and I always speak upon this because it's always important, but the representation, having such a diverse cast and having a mix between, having men and women heroes in the game, because in the comic books, everybody has a gender bend of some sort, or some representation. So having Jane Foster and still feeling powerful with her gives a chance for everyone to get into it. And I just really love that her play style is actually different. So putting the rumors to rest about her just being another Thor is really not true. So once you play her, you'll feel the difference. I felt it immediately, especially with the light attacks.
Yeah, and I mean, obviously their power set revolves around Mjolnir, right? Like that's I don't want to say it's the source, but it's definitely a conduit of both of their powers as superheroes. And so there should be some shared, what we, like I said before, what we call like hero DNA or shared DNA. But also like you said, like she is not identical to him. So we wanted to make sure that she feels like if you have played Odinson in our game, she feels familiar but different. And you know there are things that you can do, like you talking about her light attack combo. That was a thing. That was a thing where we originally were planning on her using the same one as Odinson does, but as we were playtesting and iterating, we realized like, ooh, nice teamwork there. we realized, we're like, hey, you know, this feels a little too similar. What can we do? What feels more Jane? And so our animation guys went back and they're like, well, it makes sense for her to do more hammer tosses, right? To throw it out and leverage that a little bit more than you know, the heavy-handed, even though it's a light attack, right? A heavy-handed light attack. So yeah, mechanically in the back end, I mean, it's the same ability, but we wanted to make sure that it felt unique and felt uniquely Jane. That's one of the abilities that I'm most proud of, and that's all on animation, and there's, you know, design-wise, there's very little different.
Her, oh yeah, I love these. God, she just looks so cool with all the lightning. I can't get over it. I really love her ultimate. I want to say it's definitely top 3, if not top ultimate for me. Just the animation, just the breakdown of it. I'm gonna break it down as soon as I get it again to you guys, just to show you. So if you can just see how much work and love just goes into this, you know, for those that are the naysayers, non-believers. Oh my God, just look at this. Spin to the wall, just really love it. I really also love the way you get the hammer back. It doesn't just come back in your hands once you unlock certain skills and abilities. You know, you can actually use it as an offensive by throwing it to the ground and then electrocuting the area around you and then running, jumping, catching into a heavy attack. It's just really nice.
She also I mean, all of her attacks can also be done unarmed. Well, not all of her attacks, but most, like her light and heavy attacks. And even her unarmed attacks are different than Thor. So Thor, each character has a signature attack, which is press and hold and X. And so every hero has a signature attack. With their hammer, they both do my favorite Thor ability in the game, which is a hammer spin. It's one of the most satisfying abilities that we have. But if they're unarmed, they're different. So Thor's unarmed signature is a headbutt, and he'll just run up to someone and do a headbutt. But we knew that like that didn't make sense for her, right?
Yeah.
And so we you know, we took a look at like, okay, what does feel more like her? And for her, it's a really strong kick to the chest. It's kind of like a Sparta kick. And it feels, and it feels very, very Jane. So,
I will use this data to attempt to identify their component molecules.
So yeah, in her ultimate, she throws Mjolnir. There you go. And then summons.
Believe in you.
Yep, it is awesome. And when the way she calls it down, the lightning is actually a different color. It's golden. It's just so cool, man. I'm almost got it built up so I can show you. God, I love that heavy attack. Oh wow, the double. Okay, all right, guys, calm down, calm down. Some of these, no, these guys are just like, uh-oh. Okay, here we go. We got it right here. So here we go. I'm gonna show you guys.
Stilettos have no chill. No
Look
chill.
at that. Ah, so good. Let me tell you, that hammer is so good. It just rolls around and just beats the crap out of people.
This is why they call me Thor.
Yeah, fantastic job on her design. So what are some personal things that you would like to, you know, put into the game without giving anything away that you are?
No. This question. This is always a trap question, because like people always ask me like, who's the hero you most want to see in the game? And I know the minute I do that,
we can talk about features
it'll be all over the internet saying so and so's, you know, confirmed. And
okay, let's talk about features then. What features would you like to have in the game?
I just want to keep us kind of, you know, there's one thing that our players really keep asking for, which is, you know, more things to do, more, you know, villains to fight, more enemy types, and we're working on some of that stuff right now. We have a new story Warzone that's in the works that we've announced. That starts to move, that continues to move our story narrative forward, which I'm really excited about. I'm a huge narrative nerd and story nerd, especially
Yes.
when it comes to like comic book stories and things like this. And I'm really excited to continue the story of you know of our heroes and their continued fight to take to finish off AIM, and what the impending Kree invasion that they talked about. So for me, that's such a main focus of like paying that story off that we've been talking about now for almost 2 years, and that as we're right now we're continuing to fight AIM. I want to make sure that we do that story justice, and that it's a very they say it feels really good, right? It's a satisfying story. So yeah, we have that story Warzone that we've talked about that's in the works. We have a new Omega level threat that's in the works as well, that we talked a little about, where MODOK is back, and you'll have to go and take him out. New piece. It's a Omega level threats are pieces of endgame content.
I need more time.
So yeah, and obviously, as we're doing those things, and new villains, new enemies, new places to go, things to do, just continue to expand our roster. Keep bringing more heroes in as fast as we can. At a quality that our players expect, and then making sure that they tie into our world, right? Because this isn't just it's not like an arena game or something like that where it's like, oh, it's just add a new hero. Like, we want to make sure all of the characters that we add make sense and have a reason for being here. It's not super disjointed. So
makes sense to me. Well, you can always, well, I mean, I don't know what I have to tell you, but I always say it for chat. You can always tell me no. And this is not a bait question. This is the things I always do fan wise, because I'm a huge fan of the game.
Yeah.
How hard is it? And I already probably know the answer to this, but I don't like blaming a certain reason. Is crossplay to come to the game? Because I feel like if crossplay was here, holy moly, I can finally please the people in my chat. I have it on every system. Okay, so I try my best.
To add crossplay to a game that that's not all in development, right? With not building it that way from the start, adding it, it is extremely difficult. It's not undoable. It's not an impossible thing, but it makes it much more difficult and much more expensive to do. So it's one of those things where, like, yeah, it would be amazing for sure. And we've had some discussions around it, and there's even some like outsource companies that specialize in doing that because it's such a big part of gaming today. But we're looking into it. Nothing to announce, but I would agree. I think that would be a really big thing for us.
I mean, the fact that you guys are thinking about it just pleases. I mean, even if it can be done, it can't be done. I mean, the fact that you're thinking about it. And one thing I like about the company is that you guys are very transparent. I mean, whether it's to come out of the box and say something, or just respond to a lot of rumors and stuff to clear the air and say, hey guys, we want this game to be just as successful as you want it to be successful, and we're doing everything in our power to do it. And the fans are definitely there. And a lot of the times I always say that a lot of people that get angry about stuff or just overthink things, typically how it is because they just don't know, because they're lovers of the game, and they secretly love what you like.
Yeah, passion. It's a passion thing, and some people are very passionate. Some people direct that passion in different ways, and it's knowing how to kind of process that, and so to take everything you can from it to help make decisions.
That's right. I did see someone say that Katie Bishop and Clint are two totally different characters, but this Thor's feels similar. Have you played Jane Foster? Is going to be my first thought. Are you going off of what you see? Because immediately when I started playing her, I was like, oh, she's completely different. I mean, I played a lot of Thor. Thor was my main when the game first came out, and I immediately was like, whoa, this feels completely different, because when you do Thor's light attacks, you just feel it. Like, you feel the bunkiness. He feels like Thor. He's just heavy-handed. It feels like it. Jane felt more, I don't know, fluid, smooth. The way she handled the hammer. Her ultimate is different. It's not just a few animations. So I definitely want to clear that up. Make sure you play her and actually level her. Don't just play her going in with a raw character and then saying, oh, she's just the same, because she's going to feel that way because you don't have anything. You just have her
also,
ultimate.
I mean, the difference in our game between Kate and Clint, and the difference between Jane and Odinson in our game is going to be different. Those I should say 4 relationships, two pairs of relationships are going to be different because, like I said before, Jane and Odinson both, big conduit of their power, big source of their power is Mjolnir and how they wield Mjolnir and how they operate that way. And while like Kate and Clint are both archers and swordsmen, I mean, Kate's kit revolves a lot around her use of AIM's quantum technology, which is a very different source of power than Clint, which is a more, I should say, traditional archers and swordsmen. So we look at it in terms of a spectrum. Like, it's not, are they different? Are they the same? It's not a binary thing. It's kind of a spectrum. And I think all of our heroes, as we look forward, is, there are going to be some that are more different than others and more same than others. Like, it's just, you look at comic book heroes that have similar, power sets, similar, even if they do, share a name or, a power set with another hero. So, it's being similar is not always a bad thing. Obviously, uniqueness is good. But sometimes, you use a hammer to hit people in the face, and that's what you got to do.
Also, I would like to remind people to think about comic books. I mean, the stuff that you love. I mean, how many Spider-Mans are there? And they all share pretty much the same set. Miles Morales is very different. But, Jessica, Spider-Woman versus Peter Parker Spider-Man have been almost carbon copy. I mean, she is a carbon copy if you really want to get down to it. She's a clone. But, they're very, very similar indeed. So just because you have it in the game, they're both Thor at the end of the day. They both have the same role. So yeah. But yeah, try out Jane Foster. I'm telling you, she's going to feel completely different. You're going to fall in love with her. The more and more you level her and unlock her skills, you're going to see the difference. And yeah, I honestly personally like her over Thor because I just love I love her animations. I love the way she moves.
AIM has an arc reactor.
That doesn't mean that she's better than Thor or nothing like that. Let me go ahead and clear it up because people will be like, you said.
Yeah, and that's something that's super important with this being a Marvel game, right? Everybody's got their own favorite character.
Yep.
Everybody has their wants and they want to play as someone. And different Marvel games have found ways to bring in heroes with similar power sets, and we're taking, this is kind of how we're looking at it, right? Like, how do they operate, and we take it from a very top-down approach. What is their core superhero power fantasy? Like, if I asked you, if you wanted to play Mighty Thor in our game, what would you expect there to be? What would you expect her to play like? And that's how we look at it, from the top down, not bottom up. So
yeah, it's a very interesting concept when it comes all together, because there's a lot of wheels to this clock, and a lot of people are just like, hey, just do this. As much as you, and I don't think a lot of people understand, you guys just want to do this sometimes, but it's just, you got to make those cogs work.
Yeah, I mean, everything's about, just like anything else, how much time or money does it take to do it, and figuring out what can we do in the time and with the resources that we have. And so constantly evaluate, like, okay, what can we do in this amount of time or that amount of time with these resources, or what would it take to be able to do more? What other resources would we need? And so that's what game design's all about, trying to figure out how to do the best with the resources that you have, or figure out a way to get the resources that you need.
Yep. Oh my goodness gracious! I just popped my
Someone get you?
He double hit me with his cannons, knocked me to the ground. Oh my goodness!
I got you.
Oh man.
Up,
We're up, yes.
up the view.
All right, I'm powering up. This is over. Oof. And what I'll do is I'll show you. I love this outfit so much, but I always try to, every showcase, I always try to show you different outfits. So I'll show you the different outfits, maybe even like her default outfit, and so you get to see the range Crystal Dynamics goes. Now, speaking about outfits, one thing that I absolutely love, and I feel like every time I log onto the game, I have to buy a new one. The MCU outfits. How pleasing is it to have those in the game? Because the Thor Endgame outfit, I love it. I don't think it's ever coming off of them. And the Iron Man outfits that you guys put in.
Reactor is powering down.
They are incredibly detailed, and that's one of the things I love about our game, which is like we can. I mean, I hate using the same term again, but like it's another power fantasy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like we can pay off that experience of, hey, I want to play as my favorite MCU character, because we're the cool, and this is why I love working on Marvel games, is like there's so much comic history that we can pull from in terms of outfits. There's you know, MCU history, and it's constantly new. There's new ones coming in at a constant rate on both sides, and so it just gives us a lot of opportunities. And you know, players they love to tell us what they want to see and who they want to you know, which outfit from what movie or which outfit from what comic line, and things like that. And so it's an embarrassment of riches, as I like to say.
Indeed. This so I just switched her outfit for you guys. It's one of my, I mean, I love all of them. Yeah, I love them all. The black, I'm still working on the black variant of the other outfit. I want to make a correction here. I did not die. I got knocked down. Okay.
He took a little rest.
Yeah, you know, sometimes you gotta take a knee. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's you choosing. Okay, go for it. I am ready. Got the outfit I want and everything.
You still got time for one more, yeah?
Yeah, I think so. Wow, don't tell me the time has already passed.
Well, it's 2:51 my time.
Yeah, how long do we have? We got one. We got time for one more, right? Xbox. Funny, you want a funny fact about She-Hulk? I don't know if I can say this. I think it was public knowledge. I'll just say this. Okay, I don't like the face of Bryce making. Maybe I shouldn't say it. I think it's public now. She announced it. Okay, so my acting coach, I act, guys. You know, I'm in the world of acting. I call it the world of getting denied in auditions. You always land the roles that you don't think you're gonna get, and you don't land the roles you really want. My acting coach is actually the voice of She-Hulk. And I won't say her name because I don't know if that was public knowledge yet. I think it is. It was announced. But
Nope. We've never announced She-Hulk. We don't announce things, you know.
Oh, then never mind.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's true or not, but hopefully the source will be right. Well, I'll just have to see in the future. But I'm not gonna try to pull it out of Brian.
Yeah, no, we're you know, we're working on our next hero, who we haven't, you know, said who it's going to be yet. Well, there will be a time for that. We're focused right now on, you know, kind of celebrating the work the team did on Jane, and making sure, you know, doing things like this so people can see that. And then, you know, when it's time to talk about who's next, we'll talk about who's next.
All right. Well, I'm down for seeing it. I'm down for seeing whatever I can see. I just know whoever you guys are gonna bring is gonna hit hard. So
that's the goal. Always the goal.
Head for the location
speaking of which, Kamala Khan has been extremely, like, I loved. Okay, so I know there's controversy over her powers and this, that, and the other, but I really loved the show. Have you seen an uptick in? I mean, I don't know if I know you guys got data, but are you able to see how many people use a certain character?
Yeah, we can see that. Yeah, and she has become. People have, like I mentioned before, you know, people will go and see a movie or a TV show, and then it's a correlation. Like when that happens, people want to video game players, or not even people who may not be super into video games, want to kind of extend that experience a little bit, and so they go and they look for Marvel games or Avenger games, or where can I play Miss Marvel, Kamala Khan, and get more of that. And our campaign, you had to give her I would say she's the main character of our story, right? She is a core piece of it. And so I think a lot of people who may not have known who she was before playing our game or playing our story are familiar with her, and now they when they hear people say good is not a thing you are, it's a thing you do, they that maybe they recognize it from the comics, but that's also a big part of her story in our game. So yeah, I love it. That's one of the great things about working on an IP like this, is being able to to give people other experiences with these characters in these worlds that they may not otherwise. Excuse me.
So another thing I want to talk about, since you brought that up, is the relationships between characters are something that people may think is small, but is really huge in a game like this. Just being able to have the interaction between characters and having that relationship be informed. What are some favorite relationships? Because I know that I believe this Jane Foster and Kamala Khan has a pretty tight relationship.
Yeah, and that's one thing that I always suggest people do, like whenever a new hero releases, which is, not only just play the hero and have fun with it, but walk around the helicarrier, go talk to other heroes, do missions that have elevators and elevator banner, to hear them talk to each other, and different outposts where you can go talk to the heroes as well and hear their interactions, because it's something that our narrative team does a really good job at, and it's very important for us to make sure that, while yes, this is it's a superhero game, we want you to feel like a superhero, like we also want you to feel something, right? Like that's the power of narrative. And that's the power of good narrative, which is it makes you feel something. And there's times where, like, I listen to part of Jane's heroic mission chain unlocks what we call intel files, which are little snippets of lore, like whether it's a voice recording of her during her cancer treatment, or a recording of a conversation that she has with Odinson, things like that. And it just helps kind of build the relationships between the heroes, because that's a fun thing, right? That's why Civil War was such a huge pivotal part of both the MCU and the comic storyline, because of the relationship between Steve and Tony, and the relationship between Steve and Tony, and then Cap and Iron Man, right? Because those two things can be very different, and so it's it's a really important thing for video games, where we can always get, like, especially for like me working on systems or gameplay or things like that, where we get focused on, like, well, what about this hammer hit or that hammer hit, and it's just as important to make sure that these characters make sense in this universe, that they have a purpose in this universe, and like they relate to other characters in this universe, because that's what this is. It's world building, and the more world building you do in a game like this, the more complete it feels, the richer it feels, if that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely does. I mean, you build an attachment, and how attached would you say you are to these characters? Are these like your babies, or your children, or your friends, or how do you look at it?
I look at them as, I think friends is more, is it's close, right? Like I went through, and the first time I got to start listening to some of the recordings of Zara's work, and like her interaction with Miss Marvel is very heartfelt. Her voice recording with talking about what happened in her universe to send her here, and talking about her relationship with Odinson in her universe versus this Thor, some of it is very heartbreaking. And then she goes and she talks to Black Panther, and she rubs it in Black Panther's face that there's a text group chat that Shuri and Miss Marvel own, and they won't let Black Panther in, and she rubs it in his face that she got added to that group chat. So like there's things like that can be very lighthearted, and obviously a lot of people have heard the line between her Captain America, which I will not go into. But
Yeah.
you know, there's a lot of fun in there, and then there's just a lot of emotion too. The first time that you go and you pet Lucky with her, and she talks about Thor's dog, Thori, from her universe and stuff, and it just, you know, I don't know. I love when games make me feel something, and that's super important for me. So
I love that answer, and I think that's a great thing to end on. This was too fast, bro. I always have so much fun, but hopefully in the near future we can work some more things out. So chat, please, if you enjoyed the show today, please send in surveys, petitions, anything that you can to Xbox to say get Technique and Brian back on, because I love doing these. I love the passion. Thank you so much for being such a great audience and bringing some questions. We try to get as many questions in as possible, but I do have to make sure there's a PR guy in the chat that has to be like top on that. So we need to make sure that we go in there. But time flies when you're having fun, as you said. This is, I can't tell you. I'll tell you real quick, everyone. I was at E3 when they showed the showcase of this, and I was screaming so much that they put me on camera too much. I was screaming. I was crying.
Is there such a thing?
Yeah, well, maybe not. But Brian, thank you so very much. It's
my pleasure.
I feel like I've known you forever, man, and we were just best friends having fun in the couch session. So many more to come. And everybody, this has been Xbox. Me, Technique Plays, with Brian Wagner, lead designer of Crystal Dynamics, bringing you Marvel Avengers. Go out there right now, !Mark Avengers in the chat. Learn more about Jane Foster. Get the challenge card. Get these awesome outfits and tell us your experiences. Place it on the Twitter and let us know how you feel. And until next time, keep being believers, guys. Take it easy.
Thanks for coming.
Bye.
Alright, chat, what's good? And that's everything for the developer stream with Xbox Plays. As you guys saw, we got some hilarious moments from the developer trying to keep She-Hulk under wraps, where they still doing a terrible job of that. Yeah, how everybody feeling? Appreciate you guys coming through as always. I'm glad you guys could catch the stream. Did I cut on the wrong controller? Yeah. I think they slipped up a little more. She-Hulk is definitely in the pipeline. How soon we'll get her, that's to be determined.
Avengers!
We got a sub.
Assemble.
Shout out to Jeopardy Alpha for the sub. Appreciate that. Appreciate everybody who came through today. What's the news about new missions? So, they already announced that patch 2.6 will include a new war zone, and they're looking to have cloning labs either included in that patch or right after as the next patch, I believe. And that war zone will be a mission where you fight against Monica again. And Miller believes that that could possibly be the AIM Island location he found in the data files. You won't have to be a certain level to play that mission, and you can play it offline with the AI. So it's not restricted to multiplayer. And it will tie into the story leading up to why the Avengers have to go to Cloning Lab. So the next few story bumps will come from the new Warzone mission and Cloning Lab. Do I think Bucky is still next? It's really looking like it because I apologize, my throat is pretty dry. But yeah, it's really looking like it because we were initially under the impression that She-Hulk would be out in time for her show, but with the release of this new Warzone and Cloning Lab slated right after Jane, it doesn't look like they're going to be able to get that out in time, you know, to still be able to squeeze out She-Hulk ahead of her show. And I believe they decided to pivot away from that, according to rumors. So, you know, take that with a grain of salt. It's only a rumor at this point, but it looks like they pivoted away from She-Hulk because they're not, you know, going to be able to reach in time for her show, and moved up the Winter Soldier. So I don't know if he's going to tie in the Cloning Labs or something, or, you know, we may see a tease for him at some point. But the rumor that's kind of picking up steam lately is that Winter Soldier will be next. What's good, Slip? Appreciate you coming through, boss. Shout out to Slip. Can I play with you? Yeah, of course. Guys, feel free to hop in. We can get some raids and OLTs done. Craig, I'll pull you in right now, bro. So yeah, we're playing Avengers and talking Avengers. If you got questions, you know, feel free to drop them in the chat. I'll get to them when I can. Alright, I got you, Craig.
Avengers! Assemble.
Shout out to Hash Brown 360 for the sub. Appreciate that. Appreciate you becoming an Avenger. Maybe they switched She-Hulk with Bucky because they saw the leaks from Miller and want him to be wrong. Yeah, that's another angle they could be going with, or they could be, you know, purposely spreading bad info to try to make him look bad or something. But, you know, he's digging behind the scenes. He's going to get to the truth before he makes another statement on it. Miller's sleeping real good every night, smiling. The CD deals every night thinking about Miller leaking. Yeah, I mean, like I said, it is what it is at this point. We got 2 more spots if anybody wants to jump in. Drop your PSN in the chat or just hop in. Let me make sure I'm online. There you go. I think it's neither She-Hulk or Winter Soldier. I think it's a hero that we don't know about. No, they would have had to have that in the works well before, you know, the start of this year. Like, they've been working on Jane since they started work on her back in December, and you just got her this June. So they would have had to have somebody else already in the pipeline well ahead of that. So it's too late to pivot like that. What's up, Zealot King? Appreciate you coming through. Mike Fury, appreciate that. I need a raid when you're ready. Hop in, Mike. Hop in or drop your PSN. We can get it. What's up, Kent Wayne? I really want a She-Hulk. Like I said, we don't know for sure which one is coming next. It's looking like it's, you know, they're leaning towards Winter Soldier, but that's an early rumor, so take that with a grain of salt. You can play Cloning Lab single player with AI. No, that would be the Warzone. So the Warzone mission you can play single player. Cloning Lab will be the next OLT mission, so that will be multiplayer, and you will have to be level 175. And that's going to reintroduce MODOK as the main boss for that. Alright, I got you. So terrible, got you. And we have one more, Mike McCluster. Okay. Okay. Nothing's coming up for that. Are you on PlayStation? Missed. Thank Thank you for saving me the trouble. There we go. Alright, get you an invite. And I think that's the squad. Everybody else, I'll get you in on the next run. Okay. Oh, yeah, people hopped in already. Jay Farrows, you got a higher power level hero? Because we're gonna start off with the OLT. What's up, Perfectionist? Appreciate you coming through, and appreciate everybody who just dropped into the chat if I missed you. Yeah, you on Xbox, Mike? Yeah, no problem. Let me point you in the direction of some really good streamers on Xbox. Alright, everybody ready up, and we can roll. Yeah, Mike Fury, I'll get you in on the next one. I didn't know people hopped in. So after this, we'll either run another OLT or a raid. But yeah, check out Mammoth Ego and Dr. Awkward over on Twitch. They are two of the best Xbox players on the platform. They are open and helping people get through the raid and the OLTs and everything. Super cool, laid back, streams. We need a Defenders game. Oh, we could use some Defenders in this game. I think they can make some room for them. A Defenders game would be dope, 100%. Talking about Xbox. I talked to Bob about the build for Ms. Marvel. He's doing a video on that. That's what's up, Jorge. Yeah, like currently Ms. Marvel is still my least played character because she is strong. I just don't like really playing with the stretchy combat. All right, let's go. This game would have been perfect for it. Yeah, this game is perfect for a lot of heroes. Like you name them and they would fit into this. From bigger heroes like Hyperion and Blue Marvel and Sentry to, low-level heroes like Luke Cage and, Punisher. Anybody. They can make them work in this combat system. It's all about, having the plan to include them, I guess, and the stipulation that they have to fit into the narrative. That's what I wanted to talk about. So I was hanging out in Brian's stream the other day, and he made some comments about Loki and the deal between him and Jane Foster, and he he said it was purely his own speculation, so this isn't anything definitive or anything like that. But he was saying like that based on the trailer, his interpretation was that Loki is the one who sent Jane Foster to this timeline instead of her being pulled into a rift, which is like that's not what I interpreted from what we saw, but that's an interesting angle. So his reasoning was he believes that Loki was just trying to get her out of the way. So if she's gone, then he doesn't have to worry about her or Thor because the hammer is gone, and I guess that frees him up to take over Asgard, with Odin also being gone. What do you guys think about that? Because like I said, that's not what I got from the trailer, but it's a theory, I guess. Alright, we got one more. Alright. Try to keep this quick. Same, I'm more Thor, Jane, Widow, Iron Man. Yeah, it's like I said, Kamala is cool. Don't get me wrong. Like, I love her story and everything. I just really don't dig that kind of gameplay. I got her leveled up. She's not 165, but you know, I almost got her elite raid ready. I just still have to get a solid build for her and stuff like that. Grab time. Time. Alright. If we can get a Loki villain sector, bro. Who doesn't want a Loki villain sector? And it's like, I feel like they building towards it. They just wanted to make sense story wise, but it's like you got to do something with them at this point. Between the tease and Thor's mission, and now this is like you got to do something with Loki. You have to have something planned for him. Yo, Casual, hope you had a good 4th, buddy. Yeah, I chilled out yesterday. I wanted to stream, and right when I was about to get everything set up, they started with all the fireworks. So you literally wouldn't have been able to hear anything I was saying. And that's how loud it was. But, you know, we got one in today. Appreciate everybody showing up and showing out. If you just popped in, if you drop a like, that would greatly help the channel, and it, you know, is a free way to support. All right, we got a Jane down. All right. Yeah, June, bro, you already know. You already know, man. It's par for the course at this point. Like that stuff don't even surprise me anymore. Seeing them, you know, fumble like that on streams and stuff is like it's just par for the course. I feel bad for them because it's like, honestly, I feel like it's more of a Marvel thing than anything, and they have to, you know, adhere to those guidelines. So it's like, until it's official, you know, you got to be tight-lipped about it, but clearly everybody knows what's up. Like, everybody knows what's up. For me, my interpretation about Loki and Jay was he was confused about the rift. Him planning that, my theory would be it has to do with the cube that is ripping. Yeah, that's pretty much what it. That's what I'm saying. Like, the dialogue and everything suggests that she got out of the deal due to the rift forming out of nowhere. Like, you know, but, you know, Brian was like, he feels like because Loki had his hands up when the rift formed, he summoned the rift. And it's like, hey, that's, you know, that's one way to interpret it, I guess. So it's like, you know, they caught me right around the corner. What would be my ultimate if I was in Avengers? I would have the power to leak who's coming next. We'll get info out a lot faster. Alright, come on. Yo, if Bucky comes next, that'll be awesome, but I feel like he'll need some pretty decent story content or audio files. Like I said, so a big misconception going around is that because they're not packaging story content in the form of, you know, campaigns and operations is that there won't be any story at all, and that's not true. Like, every hero they've introduced has come with a story. Like, Jane had a story when she got introduced. Spider-Man had a story when he was introduced. They just didn't get a full dedicated campaign to their arrival. So that's all that really means, is like, if they're moving away from expansions and operations, they just won't be doing full on, like, here load into this campaign operation instead of the main end game. That's the only thing that's changing. So you'll still get story. They're gonna explain why they're there, why the heroes are popping up and things like that. You just won't have a separate mission campaign to load into to actually unlock them and play through their story missions and everything like that. So like I said, just give it a chance. Let's see exactly how they execute what they have in mind, and if it works, you know, give them good feedback. If it doesn't work, give them negative feedback, and they'll have to go back to the drawing board. So, you know, most changes like this are always based around player perception and reception. So if you like something, they're going to try to give you more of that. If you don't like something, they're going to try to give you less and not do that again, possibly, depending on what it is. So this is something where they have room to change it in the future if it doesn't land the way they want it to. So, you know, don't give up on the game because, you know, it's not being packaged the same way as far as storytelling. Like, you're still getting a story. Like, that's not going away. Like, they have emphasized that they still intend to introduce story and heroes, you know, as a part of the story and expand on the story. They're just going to do it through mission content versus a dedicated operation or campaign, which ultimately is good because you can replay story content. Like, the raid is part of story content, and you can replay the raid. You know, you can do that over and over. The OLT was a part of the story, and, you know, you can play that. You can load into that and play that every day if you so choose. But no one's loading into the War for Wakanda playing that every day. You know, nobody's going back to the campaign every day or every week to replay those missions. That's not how that works, and that's why they're moving away from that kind of content, because it takes a long time to make, and, you know, it just doesn't make sense business wise, because they're giving it away for free, and then the people who are all about that content, once they complete it, they get out of the game. Like, they put the game down. They're not buying skins. They're not, you know, interacting with the marketplace at all. So it's not a sustainable business model as it's currently constructed, and they've emphasized that they have no plans on changing their business model in the near future. So you're still going to get heroes and missions for free, and it doesn't make sense for them to, you know, dedicate a year worth of time and development to bringing content that you're going to play one time, put down, and then leave the game until something new comes along. Who we waiting on? Nobody. When Bucky gets added, I hope we see Hydra or Zemo. I think Bucky will be tied into the current stories. I don't think they're going to introduce a new villain, you know, faction just because of the arrival of Bucky. They could find a way to introduce them on the back end as a tie-in to Bucky, but like as far as his initial introduction, I don't think that's what they have planned. I think we would have heard about something like that already, you know, being in the works. Alright, so we just need somebody to stay on the bottom platform, and I'll do the platforms and grab time. Alright, so we got 5, 3, and 4. Let me see. Do you think no operations equals no cutscenes? So they're kind of being cagey about that, but it's possible that it could mean that, and it's also possible that they will do it where it makes sense, as they've said. So maybe somebody like War Machine might not have story cutscenes, but someone like Captain Marvel will. So it's like we just have to wait and see how all of that plays out. But it doesn't seem like anything is 100% off the table outside of these year-long development cycles to get in a campaign or operation that people aren't really going to engage with, and it's not really helping to keep players engaged and coming back every week. So that's the only thing that's really going away. But how the story will be told, that has yet to be seen. Should Iron Man get unlimited repulsors? Nah. His suit is based on power supply and energy, so I don't think that's a route they should go. His flight speed should get a boost though, either a boost or just let you fly faster indefinitely. For people like him and Thor. All right, 2. Do you think we will ever get a new enemy faction? I believe so. It's just not currently, not until they wrap up the AIM storyline. I think that's the big thing they have to get over right now. So once they get that out of the way, I think a lot more will be on the table in terms of new villains and things like that. But I also think they have some plans with patrol mode to introduce new villains a lot more often and a lot faster than what we've seen. So like I said, they have a lot of interesting things in the works. We just don't really have a clear vision for how that will look and how they plan to execute that. So it's like right now you just kind of got to be patient with them and know that new things are coming. We just don't know how those things will look exactly. But if you like the game and plan on sticking around, then just kind of wait it out. We got some new missions coming up soon. We got new heroes coming soon, so just ride it out. And like I said, if you're bored with the game, we got new stuff coming on the horizon too. You got Gotham Knights right around the corner. Marvel Midnight Suns is right around the corner. You got Multiverses dropping soon, so it's stuff for you to do. And just check back whenever you hear something that gets your attention. So if you're, again, like if you're looking for story content, you're going to get that. You just won't, get it in the same packaging that you're used to seeing it. That's the only difference. Do we get info on patrol mode? A little bit. So what they've said about patrol mode is that one, it's not going to be what it was advertised as in the trailer that they released for it, where it's in the war zone and not the war zone, the wasteland. So it's going to look different from that, and they don't intend to have the same bosses we've been fighting all of this time included. I don't know if they won't be included at all, but their goal is to have new villains included, as a part of the patrol mode. So they don't want to box you in with, Abomination and Taskmaster in the war zone. The patrol mode. All right. I'm hyped for Midnight Suns. Yeah, Midnight Suns looks interesting. If you're into card games especially, that looks like a good game for you to pick up. What is your favorite suit in the whole MCU? Probably Black Panther's Civil War suit. Either that or I don't know, I gotta think on it. GG's. But yeah, I would probably say, Black Panther, but Iron Man also has a lot of dope MCU skins. Like his in-game Iron Man armor was dope. I'm definitely in this game for the long run. I love the combat, and I'm perfectly fine with the same faction. I was just hoping we could get some more because Marvel has a lot of interesting factions. Yeah, a lot of people feel the same, like myself included. They have a lot of things they can explore in terms of villain and enemy factions and things like that. But we just have to wait and see how they go about implementing that and when they can get that kind of stuff in. All right, so Mike Fury, you can join up. I know we missed you on the first run. Anybody else that I missed for this next mission? All right, Mike. Let's get you in. What was your PSN again, Mike? And Zealot King, do you want to hop in for a raid? Drop your PSN, Zealot. I'll get you in. Imagine a Loki raid where in the boss fight he disguises as a member of your group and the rest of the group has to figure out who he is, who is who. Meanwhile, the person who is impersonated loses health until... that would be cool. Sounds like that would be a lot of work for them to implement. And I don't know how they would feel about that. Let's see. Fury 6. Alright. Last of I can. Okay, we got 2 people that hopped in. So last of I can, back out. I'll get you on the next one. Let's get Mike in. And so terrible. I think we had, Zealot King. He wanted to hop in, so I'll get you 2 in the next run. Yeah, hey, what's up, bro? Hop out for me. You and So Terrible, y'all hop out, and I'll get you on the next one. I had 2 other spots for 2 people. All right. Let's try this again. So Zealot King, we can get you in, and then Mike Fury. Let's do this one more time. Sound like you hopped in? Alright, so you is in. Zealot King, you dreadlock 6550. If that's you, we can get rolling. If that's not you, we gotta swap out.
What you running, bro?
We running a raid. Dreadlock, are you Zealot King? Okay, so you're not Zealot King? Okay, I thought you was somebody else, bro. You hop out for me. Let me get Zealot King in, and then I'll have you in the next group. So it'll be you. What was I'll remember who they were. So Terrible, you, and one other person that will be in the next group. All right, bro. I'll definitely get you in. All right, appreciate it. All right, so Zealot King, you can hop back in. I didn't know that was you. Cap doesn't really reminisce about Peggy or Bucky as much as like he's forgotten about them. He talks about them a little in the prequel novel. So if you read the Extinction Key prequel novel, then you've heard what he had to say about Bucky or how he feels about it. All right. Slap the headphones on. All right. Has anybody not done the raid in the group? If you guys could skip. Let's skip through this. Keep it moving. Somebody said they haven't did the raid yet. Okay. Alright, so I'll walk you through it as we go. No worries. Alright, so everybody ready up and we can roll. Stefan, you haven't done the raid. So if you guys in the chat haven't done the raid yet, why is that? And are you looking to do the raid? And guys, if you're interested in playing on, like, if you want to run the raid with me, but you kind of hesitant because you don't want to look bad on stream or anything like that, don't worry about that at all. It's just about getting you through the content. So as you grow and as your characters level up, you'll get stronger. You'll get more defense and stuff like that. So, running the raid with me is just about learning and getting the experience. About going through the process. So you don't have to worry about how you perform on stream or anything like that. Like I said, if it's your first time, it's just about learning what to do, what works best, how to use different heroes, to get through and things like that. So that's all you should be concerned about. I'll definitely try to put you in a position to succeed. So for anybody that's new, for this part, it's all about, just wiping enemies. So you got 2 phases of enemies. You just want to clear them out as fast as you can. So people like, Iron Man, Thor, Hawkeye, they do really good in this part because, you can target and cover a lot of ground. So that's the first phase, and now we're on to the second phase. Did my first raid yesterday, really good learning curve. Yeah, bro, it can be fun as long as you got a solid team and, everybody plays their part. And, you're not stressing about, timing or anything like that. I've never done the raid either, first time really seeing it. Alright, like I said, if you have any questions, let me know. And shout out to Randy Anderson for the sub. Appreciate that. And if you guys have questions, make sure to add me in the comment. That way it kind of stands out a little more, and I can, you know, hone in on that right away. All right, who's left? Who's left? Two down, like the last guy. That should be it. Alright, so like I said, you got two phases of, or two waves of enemies for the first part of the raid, and now you face the first mini boss, which is the giant spider. So, pretty straightforward. You just want to damage him and get him out of the way. He'll go on the ceiling, spawn some smaller spiders. You just wipe them and he'll come back down. Before the level updates and stuff, I had done the raid. I have 3 exotic gear pieces for Black Widow. Yeah, Widow's actually pretty good in the raid. Okay, spider, back up. Yeah, you just want to light them up and get through this phase. I'll get you guys up in 1 second. Alright, Thor got you up. So that's the second phase of the raid, and now we get to the sound barrier. You owe me a raid this weekend, bro. I missed my opportunity. I got you, bro. No worries. No worries. Hulk and Thor and Black Widow are definitely my mains. Maybe Hawkeye too. Yeah. Alright, so everybody take a platform. It's 3 platforms. I'll stay up top by the consoles and just stay on your platform until it turns purple. If you need help, just call it out. I'll try to get to you. Give you some backup. Okay, so Thor, you're supposed to be on this platform over here, bro. But you stay over there by the consoles. I'll take your platform. Okay, everybody has to be on the platform. So you want to stay on the platform until it turns purple. Alright, so Thor, start pressing those buttons on the console. I'll try to help. Speed this up. So yeah, you want to start holding these buttons and get the buttons pressed. Alright, so the bubble is up. Everybody come to the middle. And this is where you get protection from the wipe phase. If you get caught outside the bubble, you want to try to get in the shadows. So you'll see a shaded area that allows you to survive the white phase like this. So you go to an area like this and you can survive. Alright, so everybody get back to their platforms. Is everybody on that button? Alright, come on. Alright, you can start pressing buttons. And if somebody can pick me up, that works too. Alright, I feel like movement mechanics for Black Widow and her abilities could be useful for a day. A Black Widow solo game. If CD ever decided to go that route. Yeah, I don't see them going that route, but yeah, we'll see. And I see you guys didn't get the bubble up. Alright, so get in the shadows. Alright, so pick that Thor up. Okay, so you got to stay on your platform. So get on your platform and stay planted until it goes purple. And that's how we get through this phase. You have to do that 3 times. So we did it 1 time. We got 2 more phases before we can move on. If you're not on the platform, your job is to be ready to press buttons and provide cover for the people who are on platforms. Alright, let's get these buttons pressed. Alright. Alright, the bubble's up. And now we just wait for the wipe phase, and then we do the platforms 1 more time, and then we'll move on. Pretty straightforward. Yeah, like I said, it's all about just knowing the mechanics and what to do and how to solve the puzzles for the raid. Knowing is half the battle. Is the raid the only way you can get gear beyond 140? No, you can do the event missions now. So if you do the event objectives, that will reward exotic gear that drops above 140. So if you're like currently doing the corrupted vibranium objectives,
Avengers!
that'll give you gear that drops above 140. And shout out to it's LBJ Jr. for the sub. Appreciate that. Alright, it's purple. Let's press them buttons. You forgot a button. Did he get it? He got it. Cool. Alright. Let's see. Alright, so after this phase, we go on into the train. Hey Casual, really hope they show Thor this tomorrow. I think this week is going to be Thor's new Love and Thunder skin. They teased it last week in a developer stream. Or at the end of a developer stream. Isn't Thor's movie skin coming out? Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. His new blue Love and Thunder skin. You gotta get in the circle. So step into the circle so we can roll. They have to do a T on single player. Some players like me don't have money to have PlayStation Plus. Well, if you want to do the OT, you can do that mission with Kate's story mission or her story campaign, and sometimes they drop it as a flashback. So you can run it solo if you want to. You just won't get in-game gear. I remember when I did the Monica mission, some dude came in as Iron Man and took her out with a single chest blast. Yeah, you can do that. that's not exactly, you know, hacking or anything. Like, you can do that with your Iron Man builds. So for this, you want to get in the shadows. So either stay hidden on the steps or just get behind something. Alright, and since everybody can fly, we'll go to this side first. Will we get both Thor and Jane Foster Love and Thunder? I don't know if that will be, you know, in the same week, but I'm pretty sure they have Jane's MCU skin coming as well. She'll probably be next week, if not this week. So we just have to see how everything plays out. And if we don't get that sometime soon, I mean, it wasn't already in production, so they will have to make it. It's great to see how you're helping learning other players, you know, things work in the game, never going to multiplayer, still leveling up. Yeah, bro, like, you don't have to be intimidated about multiplayer. Like, I get it. It can be a bad experience for some people because, you know, some people, they just want to get in and get out, so they don't have the patience or the time to teach new people how to do, you know, the raid or the OLT or what to do. And it can be frustrating, but it's like, I'm sitting here playing it anyway with you guys, so it's like, I don't want you to feel alienated because you're not a pro at the in-game content. Alright, so for this, we're going to come to the consoles. Who is that? Alright, so Terrible, come by me. And on 3, we're going to press and hold the button. So 1, 2, 3. So this part is all about just being in unison. So that's why you want to do a countdown or something. Alright, so on 3. 1, 2, 3. Alright, we got it. And now we're on to the next phase. And you guys should have already gotten gear so far. So after you get past the sound barrier, you get a piece of exotic gear. So it'll either be for your minor artifacts or one of your hero, melee, defense, or heroic slots. It's better to work together anyway. Yeah, bro. Like, that's what makes the raid fun. Like, if you really, like, I've played it enough to the point where, like, me and my team, we really don't need to communicate. Everybody knows what to do. But that was part of the reason it was fun when we first started playing, because you had to be in constant communication, letting people know what's going on and what you need and where you need help and, you know, different things like that. So follow me. We're going to go to this door and stay on this platform. So you guys stay here and hold. You have to stay on this button to keep this door open for me. So I have to go outside and get the vibranium buff. And once I come back, we'll be able to do damage to the vibranium. Alright. Should be over here. So, like, for this part, you want to come outside and look for the vibranium buff. You'll know it when you see it. It's gold. Look like it's up ahead. So yeah, it's right here. So if you guys could come to this door where the down arrow is and open that door. And just let me know when you got it open. Alright, I see it opening. Alright, so just hold that and I'll come right in with the buff. You try to get me. You gotta be quicker than that. Alright, so come up here. We're gonna go up here to this platform, the balcony. And we got a minute to get all of this stuff down. Do you think it's a clone MODOK or the real one? I think it's the real one. The goal is to get MODOK off the board, so they're definitely gonna, you know, go with the real one. All right, we got a minute to go. So just try to get down all of these giant spires of corrupted vibranium that are sticking out. All right, pick up whoever dropped. And you want to make sure you keep the damage all the way down on each one. Yeah, I forgot to say that. So yeah, the way this works, you have to stay close to the person who went outside and got the buff initially. Alright. So we should have 3 more. So hold this door for me. So yeah, if you don't have that gold buff around you, then you're not getting the buff, and that means you're not going to be able to do damage to the spires. So yeah, hold 4. It should be right out here. It's not. Alright. See, they're mixing things up a bit more. Alright, you can hold that door. Coming right back. Since everyone can fly, we can do this. Alright, so focus on all of these last few spires. So you want to make sure you're getting, you guys have to do damage to these. So you guys focus on these 2 over here, and I'll keep this one over here down. We got just about 10 seconds. 5 seconds. Okay, so a big part of the raid is communication. So communication works both ways. You gotta listen and you gotta, you know, speak. So the goal is to focus on, you know, your given objective. So between 4 people, we should be able to focus on, you know, multiple targets at once, and this is the last one. So you want to know what you have to focus on and what you have to get done. Is like, this phase isn't about fighting the enemies. Like, that's the least of your concern. And now we could just wait a minute for that to finish up. How do you feel about people that tend to take advantage of glitches? I personally feel like it could potentially make the game worse. In a sense, their game can become more glitchy. It depends on what you mean. Like some glitches, I feel like benefit the player, and the developers know that. That's why they, you know, kind of let them hang around. And others, like if it's completely breaking, you know, the game for you, then no, they're not gonna leave something like that in the game. Like Thor's infinite Bifrost glitch. Like, you know, no one was surprised to see that get taken out of the game, because, you know, that's not intended. That's not how that's supposed to work. But like I said, with the history of this game, I feel like, you know, anything that helps players have fun, you know, should be welcome. So if it's not breaking the game and hurting other players' experience, then I don't too much care about it. Yeah, so the only difference with the elite raid and the normal raid is the amount of time you have to do different objectives. So as you saw with this phase of the raid, you got over a minute to complete it. But in the elite raid, I think you get that time get cut in half. Yes, get off the button, get off the button. So with this phase, you just have to run across the buttons. You don't have to stand on them. So just run across the button that's closest to the door and you're good. So like this is a perfect example of a glitch that benefits the players. And I'm 100% cool with it because, you know, it helps you get through the content faster. So it's like, there's no real reason to stand on buttons, making the raid take, you know, upwards of 10 to 20 minutes longer. Alright, so you want to hide in the shadows, you don't want to get caught by the white face. If you're in the light, you're going down. Make sure you do not step on the button once it's pressed. Once the door starts opening, you want to leave the buttons alone. Hell, you want Infinite Bifrost, just go to the harm room. Like I said, I don't need it. It was a, you know, fun glitch while it lasted. They would knock me on the button. But, you know, it's like I'm not relying on that. And it's, you had to have known that was getting snatched out at the first opportunity. Alright, so for this part, everybody come up top. And the enemies will spawn in. So come up here. Alright. And I gotta spam. And my Iron Man isn't, you know, okay. They just cheated me out of my Hulkbuster. No, they didn't. Bro. There we go. How do you feel about people? Yeah, I saw that. Will Bucky be dropping with Cloning Labs? That has not been announced. Like I said, that's speculation, if anything. But yeah, we don't know when Bucky would be dropping, but you know, the rumor is he will be the next hero after Jane Foster. Alright, so we got the buttons, let's go. So this is the same as last time. You just, you know, get to the buttons and go on 3. 1, 2, 3. Sometimes they'll give you a bit of breathing room if you start late, sometimes you don't. 1, 2, 3. Alright, hold on. Let's start over. It didn't look like he started. 1, 2, 3. Alright, started. 1, 2, 3. I'm curious, Jane doesn't have a harm room activity thing. Is it because she's so close to throwing abilities? Brian said that they intentionally didn't include that because they didn't think people, you know, enjoyed those kind of missions. So they intentionally left that out this time around. Like I said, it's an interesting choice. We don't know if we'll see that more in the future, but you know, for right now, you know, it's weird, but you know, they are, you know, just making different tweaks and changes as they go. Alright, so for this part of the raid, you have the bottom of the forge and the top of the forge. So the person who goes to the bottom has to call out the symbol that they see after it appears on the platform. What's up, Digital Variable? Good morning. Appreciate you coming through to the stream. So yeah, someone goes down there. And then typically someone has to go up top once the bottom makes it clear. So don't go in yet. Alright, now you can go, and the first sign is H. So Iron Man kind of makes this phase super simple because he doesn't have to get in harm's way. He can just stay back and beam the vibranium. You sure it was fish? What's the next one? All right. The next one. That should be it. Alright. Let me catch up on chat. I understand that. I mean, yeah, some of the harm room stuff was a bit stressful, but I like how it's practiced still. Yeah, like you can still go in there and get practice, but yeah, I understand they usually do include a tutorial for every new hero, and you know, like I said, she has some differences between Thor, so it's like it would have been okay to go in there and explain that and just have people try out her different moves. If everybody can skip. Alright, so for this, somebody has to have behind the pillars. So you want to get the sound echoes inside the middle platform, and that's where you defeat them so you can move on to the next phase. If you defeat them outside the circle, it doesn't do anything and it just makes this part take longer. Alright. So there's several, heroes who can do this easier than others. Like Spider-Man, he can just yank them in there. Kamala, she can just grab them. Iron Man can get in a Hulkbuster and just knock him in. Alright, make sure you had him. Everybody had. I'm glad I was in the armor. We would have been wiped. So when you see the screen bright lighting up like that, that's the wipe phase coming. I'll try to call it out, when it happens going forward. Alright, we got 2 coming. And I got spam down. Try to get them in. If you target them with Iron Man's rockets, that'll kind of bump them in. And then from there, it's just about getting them down. All right, the white face. So this is a bit of cheese. You shoot them in the eyes during the white phase, and that'll get them down faster. But that's, you know, mainly used for speed running techniques. So you see these symbols are starting to appear. Every time you defeat a sound echo in the circle, you'll unlock another one of those sections of the circle.
Avengers! Assemble.
Alright, we got a news. List 6 3K, appreciate the sub, bro. Appreciate you coming through. Shouldn't have started so far back. Make sure you guys are behind the pillar.
Avengers!
Something told me don't
assemble.
Lord Darth Vader with the sub. Appreciate that. Welcome to the Sith. Alright, this is gonna be a quick phase, look like. Yep, figured. How did I go down though? Alright, skip. Alright, for this phase, you want to just go and do damage to his eyes. Take cover. They didn't let me get him. Yeah, he instantly went into the white phase to keep from being finished off. But if you guys pay attention, like you see all of these orange cracks going out through his body, the more you see those form throughout the mission, that's how you know he's getting closer to, you know, dying. So if you shoot him in the eyes during the white phase, you'll start to see those cracks start to form, and that'll let you know how close you are to defeating him. Alright, so this time you got to get the spiders in the circle. The big sound echoes, spiders. Why am I using that? Use rockets. Spider doesn't want me to live. Black Panther spear can push them in too. Yeah, like I said, Black Widow, if you have her Widow's punch, she can get them in. Viper RJD, appreciate the sub. Thank you for becoming an Avenger. Alright, let's get this chump in there. He's about to come down. So when the circle turns blue, that's when Zarafari begins to bring him down. And if you look at him, you can see he's on his way down. He only got a little bit of health left. Yeah, Viper J. I can get you in, bro. can get you in. My Spider-Man gear is stuck on 140. How to fix that? You might have to level up your minor artifacts or your major artifact. But if you're talking about the gear that drops, you have to get gear from the raid, the OLT, or from the event missions if you want gear that's higher than level 140. I feel like if we got different colors for Hulkbuster, that'd be cool. Yeah, I talked to them about that. It's possible that they just will have to dedicate some time and resources to doing stuff like that. But it is possible for them to do. Alright, and now this is the last fade. We don't need to reload. We should be good. So for this part, he's going to shoot his cannon. They'll kind of give you an indication of where it's going. You see that? And that's where it's going. Alright, y'all pick up So Terrible. Let me swap out gear real quick. Yeah, I didn't pay attention to how high I was. I messed up that part of the face. Why do people reload before the claw boss fight? You know, some people think it helps them a little better, or you know, decreases the bugs and stuff. In my experience, if you get in the bug, you get in the bug. So just go on in and get it started. Don't run. Don't run. So yeah, this phase is all about doing stun damage. So you want to make sure you're doing stun damage for this phase. That white bar underneath his health bar, that's his stun meter. And he is running from the stun damage. This dude. Unbelievable. This guy is serious. He dodging the stuns. It's all good. So you don't really want to waste your heroics on this part unless they specifically do stun damage, because it doesn't do damage in this phase. So with Thor, you want to do the spin, the hammer spin. With Hulk, you want to make sure you got stun on his power attacks and just do the ground pound. Widow should do a lot of stun damage with her guns and her Widow's Bite. And with these, you want to get these out of the way as soon as possible. Alright. Stay right there, Mr. Claw. Alright, Thors, I need you guys to do the Bifrost. Try to keep them in place. This is the part where you fight Claw, so try to focus on him. And watch out for the wipe. Oh, you shooting again? Oh. So yeah, that usually doesn't happen. Of course, the spider caught me.
Avengers! Assemble.
Appreciate that sub, Shane Reynolds. Appreciate you becoming an Avenger. And appreciate you guys getting the stream to over 200 likes. Appreciate that. You want to get in close and do the hammer spin? Yeah. Knew that was coming. Doing damage for him. Alright, be right back. It caught me in a bad spot. This looks like a wipe. So since you guys are all throwers, you could fly and zap them in the body with your beam. And that's another way to do stun damage in this phase. Do you think we'll get an Ant-Man and Wasp story? I don't know. I don't know what to believe at this point. Like they seem to be operating off a weird script over there, and they clearly don't want to be predictable because of what we know is coming. So I think that may lead them to make some silly choices, I'll say, in their attempt to be, you know, unorthodox. All right, so who's going to the back? Alright, let me swap gear back. Alright, hit him with the God Blast. You want to make sure you got God Blast on. Cryo on your God Blast. And he is bugged, looks like. Yeah, you can come from back there, bro. He's bugged. He's progressing as normal. We can still get him. And I forgot to swap my gear back. Is he even getting stun damage? Yep, this is a wipe.
Avengers! Assemble.
Who just subbed? My apologies. Westonator, appreciate the sub. Appreciate the sub, Westonator. Appreciate everybody who's still in the stream and just popped in. Appreciate the support. And again, guys, if you got questions or anything, feel free to drop them in the chat and just add me in your question. That way I can catch that right away. Figured I was up high enough. That's what happens when you don't pay attention. You get blazed. Alright, I'm down. Yeah. Alright, I'll focus up and let's get through this. So if you got cryo on your God Bless, you can catch him during the stump phase in the damage part of the raid. And I can, lock him in with the rockets, and that way he won't escape, and we'll be able to one phase him on the God Blast. You can select that setting in your skills. All right, so we'll get somebody to the back. He always targets me when I'm not looking. And that crash looks like. Yep.
Avengers! Assemble.
It's Buckus with the sub. Appreciate that. Yeah, it's rough. It's rough. We might have to step away from the raid if it's bugging out, because that is a lot of time to invest towards getting to the end and then falling out at the back end. If you guys are still raiding, 100% feel free to try to complete it. I wish you guys the best of luck. It's still possible to to complete the raid even with just 2 people or 3 people. can always come to the gear vendors and check and see if they got any ISOs or anything like that. Just to see what they got. Check in with Roy, see if he became Ultron yet. It doesn't look like he did today. Alright, if anybody I missed for the initial raid wants to try to hop in, go ahead. I'll be right back, you guys. Give me 1 second, let me hop up and stretch for a bit, and then we'll keep the stream going. I see nobody hopped in. All right, if anybody wants to hop in and run this OLT real quick, we can. If not, we can figure something else out. But for those of you who just kind of popped into the video, we just had a developer live stream with Xbox over on Twitch. They showed off some Jane gameplay. Talked about some of the stuff that's coming up next. They inadvertently confirmed that She-Hulk does indeed have a voice actor, and will be and is a planned hero for the game. They don't seem happy about that confirmation, but that was a thing that happened. And as far as Winter Soldier news, it's the rumor that he is the next hero is starting to pick up a bit of traction, behind the scenes. And Miller has come out and said that he is 100% sure that Winter Soldier will release this year. So that kind of lends a bit of credibility to that. He has been seeing different updates for him and his weapons and things like that, in the data files and different updates. So don't be surprised if you get an announcement of Winter Soldier as the next hero. PC Gamer, I got you. But yeah, if anybody wants to hop in, just go ahead and hop in. Casual Avenger 87 on PlayStation. And from there, we can just knock out another OLT. Let's see, I might use somebody different this time. I might try Hawkeye. Drop a 1 in the chat if you want to hop in, and I will get you in. Again, you don't have to be worried about how you perform on stream or anything like that. I can clear these missions solo. So if you go down, we'll get you back up and we'll keep it moving. I really want this game to do well and have an epic comeback. I believe She-Hulk synergy will help that happen. Yeah, it's looking like they might miss out on the She-Hulk synergy. Kymel, did you drop your PSN already? If you drop your PSN or you just join up, we can get you in. Does the challenge card glitch still work? The one with the time travel? I am unaware of what you speak. Add me, Madara 1178. I got you. I think I might have you. That name look familiar. I guess I just seen that name before then. Alright. But yeah, it's looking like they won't be able to cash in on that She-Hulk synergy according to recent rumors. But hey, we'll see. Lord Vader, you the PC game? Okay, got you. And Herald of Thunder, once you hop in, that'll be 3. Kymel, if you drop your PSN in the chat, we can get you in as well. I've played with Harry. Who is Harry? WB Harry, yeah, that's bro. Hulk main. All right. If Kyle isn't hopping in, we got a spot for one more person if anybody's free. Matter of fact, I think I can get somebody. See if Dread wants to hop in. That's what I'm missing. I knew it was pretty quiet in here. Let's get some vibes going. Craig wants to hop back in. Been grinding Jane hard. Yeah, I can put some more time into her. Like I got some of her. I did the raid with her. I haven't done the OLT, and I did her. What missions did I do with her? I got her event gear. So it's like I've been doing a little bit with her. But yeah, I see you got champion level 176 already. It's crazy that people already got her to 375. That is insane. Like, for context, I play with Thor more than everybody. Like, that's the hero I play with the most on this game, and I only have him at 341. Like, nobody else is even close to that. Like, I had a couple people at champion level 100 or higher, but it's like 300, not even sniffing it with most people. And my most played character still isn't 375 just yet. Alright, anybody in the chat want to hop in? We got one more spot. That's all I've been doing is the raid. Same, I'm a Thor main too. Yeah, bro, you gotta rock the Thor. Thank you, Cass. We did manage to finish that raid. Man, congrats, bro. That's the silver lining in it. You know, even if I get kicked or somebody gets kicked, if you guys can still finish it, that's a win. Yeah, if you got one hero, feel free. Just looking to get it started. I did not mean to keep Thor. I got a couple people over 160. He's almost finished. He's almost finished. She's almost 160. I got 151 with her. 160. 167. So I try to keep it balanced a little bit. Switching over to Black Panther. Okay. Yeah, Kate. Honestly, if we can't get somebody, we can just do a random. Just vote for a random. Just click yes on the vote, and we can get a random in. I'm happy to play. Digital, yeah, you can hop in. What's your PSN? Or you can join up on me, Casual Avenger 87. Alright, just your name. Alright, you are up. Invite out. Alright, so once he joins up, we're good. I need Jane's black lipstick on her mighty skin. I can pass that on to see if they can look into it. Let me see. So Digital, we're just waiting on you to hop in. Yeah, I see what you mean about the darker lipstick. Like I said, we can possibly see it in the future. Who knows? As you can see, I clearly need to clean out my locker. Alright, Digital. Alright, whenever that goes through, we can get out of the locker room. Alright. And once Digital joins up, we good. Alright. Alright, everybody ready up? Slept at 225. I gotta get that, bro. Like I cut it down and then it's like it worked its way right back up. Yeah, Mike. Bro, Zealot King just told me. I'm glad to hear that. Hope you guys got some good gear. Drop a 1 in the chat if you guys watch anime. And what's your favorite anime if you do watch anime? I did that last night. Yeah, I gotta make some time. It's like most of my gear is coming from Thor, because it's like I just don't really need anything for him. too many to name. Give me one. Give me your top 3, and then or drop an anime that you feel like everybody should watch at least once. You're crazy on that Adaptoid. Oh, you know we're not gonna spend too much time on them. You gotta be real brief with them. Tower of God. I'm not familiar with that one. Cowboy Bebop, Erased, Bleach. Okay, you going with the classics. With the classics. That one time I got reincarnated as a slime. That's the name of the show. Alright, so we do got a Thor. So yeah, the Hawkeye, he can open the cages too if you guys didn't know that. See, this kind of stuff just ain't fun. You don't want to be bunny hopping around with heroes. Who recognized this song from an anime? Okay, so that is the name of it. I never heard of that one. That one time I became a slime. Solo Leveling Too Hard is about an anime, about to have an anime. Solo Leveling 2 is about to have an anime. Toys here. Alright, so everybody, let's roll. Zealot King. Alright. Drop a 1 in the chat if you've ever seen Angel Beats. That's an anime I hardly ever hear anybody talk about or are familiar with. Digital's down. I got you, Digital. Give me 1 sec if I can make it to you. Alright. It might be a long shot. That doesn't help. Alright, just in time. Thoughts on how they can improve biomes? Giving people better traversal options. So letting flyers fly faster, letting the people who run fast, like Captain America, Black Panther, and the Hulk, actually run fast, and the people who should be relying on other means of transportation, like Hawkeye, give them a sky cycle or another, means of transportation they can spawn, like whether that's warp portals or something. Because the bunny hopping, it's not ideal. Kill like kill. You haven't seen Angel Beats? Yeah, definitely check out Angel Beats. It's a solid one. It got a very solid story to it. It instantly became one of my favorite animes when I watched it. But if you're looking for traditional shonen anime, then I would recommend something like Yu Yu Hakusho or Hunter x Hunter. Civilian NPC. Yeah, there's plenty of room for them to improve on a lot of stuff. Okay, I hope this doesn't kick anybody, because you should be in here during this part. So for anybody new to the OLT, when you get to this part of the mission, you want to make sure everybody's inside the elevator, because that can cause bugs and cause people to get kicked and things like that. So it's official, Bucky is coming before She-Hulk. Nothing is official, that's just a rumor, but it's a rumor that's starting to pick up a bit of traction. So nothing is official just yet. What's up, DJ? How you feeling, bro? You also like to see improvements to Outposts. What kind of improvements you looking for? Like, what do you got in mind? Like, are you just looking for new outposts in general, or changes to the existing biomes? I saw that coming at the last second. Thanks for the clarification. Yeah, no problem. Like I said, Miller was comfortable enough to say that he believes 100% that Winter Soldier will be arriving this year. He just we don't know definitively if he's coming ahead of She-Hulk, and we don't know exactly when the next hero will be coming. All we know for sure right now is that 2.6 will be bringing a new Warzone and or cloning labs. So I'll stay on the middle, and you guys can do the platforms. Are we doing the platforms? Everybody don't have to be down here. So the people who can fly go to do the platforms. So you got 4, then 3. Then you got 1. And then 5 is last. You can't stand on 5 at the same time, boss. Down for an elite raid. I just tried to do the raids and it kind of bugged out on me, so I'm kind of steering clear. But if you'll be on a little later, I might do one off stream, or I might do another stream later or something. But I did get your message about trying to do the elite raids. I'll see if I can help you out. I'll tell you after the OLT. Okay. Yeah. Definitely looking forward to Bucky if he is next. Like, I've been waiting to see that guy come to the game for a long time. So if we get him a bit sooner, I'll take it. But I will not be disappointed if She-Hulk is indeed next. Alright guys, back up, back up. Bucky will definitely be one of my main characters when he is in the game. Yeah, bro, I can't wait to pair him up with Captain America and Black Widow and Hawkeye. And run around and get it done. Alright, you got 3. And then... and you got 1. And you got 5. And then you have 4. So yeah, if you unfamiliar with the OLT and you ever need to know which platforms and what order they do, they'll be posted on these platforms right there. So you got 1 on each side. Yeah, I was checking out Miller's latest stream the other day, and it seems like there might be another mystery hero in the works. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. But yeah, they look like they may be sneaking in another unplanned hero. Tip to make you more liked than the OLTs: always skip the cutscenes. Always press skip on the cutscenes. How did I go down? Gotta do it. Nah, he good. He got. You see that health bar, man. You see he got hit with the health glitch. But I see you on dirt slip as always. At least he's in the game, unlike somebody whose name start with a Q. I won't say a name though. Yo, homie who Blue Marble, bro, if they put him in the game, bro, that would be insane. That would be insane. That would definitely make, I feel like that should at least move the needle a little bit in terms of overall popularity for the game. Got this for the camera. Hold on to that. We need Adam Bergier. Hey, I'll take him. I will take him. Sentry would be insane. Yeah, Sentry. Like I said, I'm not a big fan of the character. Like he kind of convoluted, in my opinion. But he got a cool power set, so it's like I wouldn't not take him. I guess I would prefer Hyperion or Blue Marvel ahead of Sentry, personally. But like I said, I honestly wouldn't be mad about any of them coming to the game. We can do beating eyes real quick. Quicksilver. Like I said, they would have to figure something out. So I went to beating the odds for this sole purpose. Like, you see how you get a cutscene before the mission, you get cutscenes after the mission, and if you go speak to Hank Pym at the anthill after completing the mission, you get another cutscene. So this is a regular mission of a regular villain sector, but it ties into the story. And this is, I think, a perfect example of what you're going to be seeing when new heroes and new mission content comes to the game that moves the story forward. So Cloning Labs, I'm pretty sure, will have something along these lines. Running the OLT. We could do that after this one. I'll get you in. Could any X-Men characters be in the game? If yes, I hope for Jean Grey. They haven't definitively shut down, you know, anybody coming to the game. But, you know, the X-Men right now seem like a bit of a long shot, especially with them wanting to get other people into the game first. So I think, you know, late 2023 or early 2024 would be your best chance of seeing a X-Men character make it into the game, unless they deviate from the script and just, you know, decide to go with a wild card. Can I hear you in game chat? 1 sec. I think I had you muted because you had the stream going. Alright, I got you. What's up? Yeah, that's my fault. I had you muted for a second because you had the stream going in the background, and it was like I'm hearing me while talking and stuff. But yeah, pick it up from the top, bro. I got you now. Okay, yeah, that sounds dope. And what's the name of it? How I accidentally became a slime or something? Okay. Yeah, I'll definitely check it out. Have you seen Mob Psycho? Okay. Yeah, I feel like Loki is coming. Like a Loki OLT or something is definitely in the works or plans. Like they might not be developing it just yet, but you know it's definitely on the lineup of planned content. So you and the wanting to play with Loki count. I mean, the developers themselves have said they would like to, you know, see Loki as a playable hero, but you know, at the same time, Brian, you know, kind of contradicts that as well. So it's like, yeah, I don't know where that's going. Yeah. Yeah. Appreciate that, bro. Like I said, I'm always down to talk, you know, Marvel, anime, whatever. Like I'm all about it. Let me catch up on chat for a bit. I'll hop back in. Alright, my fault, chat. Let me see. So with an improvement to Outpost, I thought maybe at the anthill you could re-roll different perks or pay them for an upgrade module. Yeah, people have been suggesting that for a long time, and they seem hesitant to add something like that. So I don't know. I don't know where they are in the thought process with that, but you know, the last time I heard them talk about it, it didn't seem likely or you know something they were eager to do. I hope they do his Civil War skin with the goggles. You talking about Bucky? Yeah. I like I said, I want all the Bucky skins. I always think Iron Man is a robot, like a regular aimbot. I'd be attacking my AI companion all the time. Brian really got nervous when Xbox said, "Oh, she got announced." Yeah, they, like I said, they don't like the fact that got out as early as it did. Yeah, the voice actor, she got tripped up a little bit. You know, they look kind of silly, but you know, it's like I understand the frustration behind it because it's like you want to announce things in your own time and stuff. But I feel like, you know, marketing wise, just lean into it. So if it's out, let's just start teasing it. Let's control the narrative, you know, as best as we can. If Loki is in the game, I hope for a President Loki skin. If he's playable, that would be an option. If not, then you stuck with whatever the villain skin is. Do you think replaying the story is fun and something I should do? I honestly only do the vault and villain sector every day sometimes. Yeah, if you know, I've replayed the story a couple times. Like, you know, the main campaign and the War for Wakanda are probably the things I've replayed the most. But it's like, you know, it's content and it's there if you want to revisit it. You know, I was just saying that most people don't, which is why they're moving away from, you know, constantly doing that as a way to, you know, introduce new heroes and characters. So instead of, you know, spending a year developing something that people are only going to engage with, you know, once or twice, let's give them something that they'll play all the time, you know, every week or so, and just go from there. TVA Loki skin. Yeah, I mean, like I said, if they make him playable, give him all the skins, and he got some MCU skins to select from, so pretty sure those would be big money winners for him. The fact that, you know, they made Loki playable alone would be pretty big in this game. Let it go. You listen to Dreamscape because the song is from Dreamscape. I listen to some of everything. And they, honestly, this isn't in my playlist. They snuck off the playlist a bit. Alright. Good catch. I just want Wanda, Doctor Strange, you, and everybody else. Except I want what we owed already, so it's like we do for She-Hulk, Winter Soldier, Captain Marvel. I'm ready for them. The Bifrost. To be honest, I would like Loki more as a villain than hero, but I would be fine with Loki being playable. Yeah, I think it makes sense currently to just, have him as a, villain, but, anything is possible. Imagine a power ranged attack where Wanda literally just picks people up like how Kamala does, but with her mind. Yeah, Wanda and Doctor Strange would be easily two of the strongest characters in the game, and that's even if Captain Marvel was in the game, so they would... It's a different kind of strong, but it's like their crowd control and all of that would be insane. And I'm expecting a lot of buffs from both of those heroes. Get out of here, lady. So for this boss fight, you want to focus mainly on range. Okay, and that's a bug that sometimes happens. Alright, we down, Kamala. So yeah, stuff like that, that's, not a issue of your character not having enough health or anything. That's literally a game glitch. So like I said, don't feel bad about stuff like that. Okay, I see this wiping stuff is gonna be a thing. Lesson. That's all. You back from your sleep, preacher man? Appreciate that, bro. Hope you got some rest. Hope you're feeling a little better. Villain then hero for Loki redemption arc. Yeah, I don't think they thinking that deep into things. But yeah, like, you guys see this, you just beat a mission, you got a cutscene that moves the story forward. So you don't need campaigns and operations to get story content for the game. Like, you can get story content in the game as missions. Yeah, easy as pie, bro. You can play this solo, you can play this, multiplayer as you just saw, it's they're giving you options. It's just certain content they designed it to be multiplayer because the in-game content is mostly designed around multiplayer content. So, you know, I understand wanting to play solo, but you know, at the same time, this is a multiplayer game, so it's like appreciate the fact that there are single-player aspects in the game instead of trying to demand that for every aspect of the game. I like content like this, and I think it's fine if they drip feed that to us mission by mission. Yeah, that's pretty much what they're planning. Like the next Warzone is going to be just like this. It's, you know, you're going to be fighting Monica. I don't think she's going to have a cosmic cube because the Avengers have it, but she'll probably be in AIM Island, and that's how once you defeat her, you'll get information about Cloning Lab, and you know that's where that comes into the story. We need a Mangog OOT. If you don't know who the Mangog is, YouTube the Mangog versus See Him Lay Low, all of Asgard. He's a dope character. I've heard of him. I can't really picture what he looks like design wise right now, but I'm familiar with the name. Alright, let me see. Where we at? Yeah, guys, so we'll probably wrap up here. Like I said, I might come back for a later stream. You know, probably later in the day, probably like 8 or something. AIM Island, yeah, that was leaked by Miller. That's a new mission environment, I guess. Like, it's not a complete biome, but it will be a new mission location for a mission or a war zone or something. We still got to figure out the details on that, but that is in the files. But I appreciate you guys so much for coming through, hanging out. GG's, guys. I'll catch you guys on the back end. Like I said, I might have a stream later playing some more missions, so I'll definitely let you guys know. But I appreciate you guys running with me. Yeah, Mike. I'll hop on later. If you're around later, we can do an OOT later. It's kind of hot in here. I need to get something to eat, stretch for a bit, you know. But I appreciate you guys so much for coming through. We got over 200 likes on the stream. You guys have been absolutely amazing, and I can't tell you how much I appreciate that. But again, if you just came in, appreciate you coming through. Check out the channel if you're not subscribed. I may do another stream later on today, so be on the lookout for that. But again, appreciate you guys, and I will catch you in the next one.